Welcome everyone to another edition of CKCC Trivia Night. Although as you can tell by the light behind me, we're not exactly at night at the moment. It's more like CKCC Trivia afternoon. I am Chris, and today, Dan Peck will be answering the questions. Can you hear me, Dan?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. So what kind of questions are you going to be answering?
We're going to do NBA basketball questions.
NBA basketball, yes. So I've got a little Quizlet here. Now, you did 100 for me with The Simpsons. This one actually has 111 questions. So what we're going to do is we'll chalk a couple of these up to being bonuses, because some of them are about a bit more old-timey NBA, which is not necessarily your strong suit. So if you get them, great.
I know
we'll count
some
them.
because I have read a history of in the past. So.
Okay.
I know the go-to questions from the 50s and 60s.
All right, cool.
But if it's, esoteric, maybe not.
Well, supposedly this was a quiz made for kids. So, I guess we'll find out how, either if these are some BS questions and no kid would ever know them, or... But they're actually broken down into sections, which is pretty cool. So, we'll do the same rules. You'll get about 10 seconds on the clock or so to answer. You'll get about 3 guesses, whichever one comes first. You exhaust your 3 guesses, or time basically runs out before we'll call it. Other than that, are you ready?
Suppose so.
Okay. So the first section here is General NBA Quiz. So just some general knowledge of the NBA. We got 20 questions here, so let's kick it off. What does NBA stand for?
The National Basketball Association.
Correct. Number 2. How many players does an NBA team have in its roster?
Well, it actually recently changed the last few years. 13 active players, 15 total.
Correct. 15 would be the correct answer. And question number 3. How many players of the 15 on the roster are active?
Now, it's recently 13, but if this is old or 12.
No, it's 13.
Okay.
All right, you got that one. Number 4. How many NBA franchises exist as of today? And let me see if I can get you a date here. This was updated on May 18th, 2022.
So 30.
30. 30!
30.
You are correct. Number 5. How many basketball players from the whole roster will be allowed on the court at a time?
For a single team, 5.
Correct. So then, total on the court would be how many?
10.
Correct. That was not 2 separate questions.
That's why I figured it was an extension.
Yeah, it was the extension. They give you the little extended trivia at the end here. All right, number 6. In basketball terms, what is a starting 5?
Maybe the 5 players that are at the initial tip-off of the game.
Correct. And it says they're usually the best players.
Usually.
Well, yeah, you want to put your A team out there first.
Sometimes teams don't put some of their, but if you have somebody that's better at the tip-off,
right,
you play them to get them out immediately. Doesn't usually happen though.
Right, but you might want to save a player for when you. Yeah, no, I get it.
Like your best center is just shit at doing a tip-off.
All right, question number 7. What is the role of a point guard in a basketball game?
You want the abstract? Point guard is the one that brings the ball up initially and sets up the plays and gets the ball to whoever's going to eventually score.
Right. How they word it is they facilitate the scores or dunks for the rest of the team or for himself. All right.
They're the quarterback.
Right. Basically, yeah. If to use the football terminology there, because I think everybody out there knows what a quarterback is. Like, even if you don't know anything about the NBA, you probably know what a quarterback is, at the very least. All right, question number 8. How long does each contest in an NBA match last?
48 minutes.
Correct.
4 12-minute quarters.
Very good. Question number 9. How long does a collegiate basketball match run for?
40 minutes to 20-minute halves.
Correct. Number 10. What is the length in a quarter of an NBA game?
12 minutes.
Correct. Number 11. On what occasion will there be overtime?
The score is tied at the end of regulation.
Very good. Number 12. How long does an overtime period last?
5 minutes.
Okay. So the answer they give is overtime lasts for as long as it takes for a team to win with more points than the other. But
yeah, it's 5-minute periods. Whoever has the highest score
right.
at the end of 5 minutes.
Right. Okay.
It's not like sudden death, like someone's
right. It's not a sudden death thing. Yeah.
Because that would be stupid, and overtimes in basketball would be 10 seconds sometimes.
Yes, exactly. All right, number 13. Who can call a timeout according to NBA rules?
Head coach.
That's one of them. And there's one more.
Player in possession of the ball.
Correct. Player in court or a head coach can call a timeout and stop the game clock. All right, number 14. How many timeouts in an NBA team allowed per half?
Yeah, this might be my first wrong one. I think it's 6 full and 2 or 3 short ones.
So you got the 6 full minutes correct, but what they want is you get one more, and how long does that one last? So you
20
get
seconds.
20 seconds, correct. Full credit.
Okay.
All right. Number 15. How many NBA stadiums are there?
29.
Yes. Correct.
Because the Clippers and the Lakers play in the
same one. Yep.
But not for too much longer. Clippers are getting their own building. They're currently building it.
Well, this was only updated on May the 18th of this year.
Well, it would have to be updated in a year or two from now.
Yeah. Well, the initial quiz was made before that, but I like that they're keeping it updated, which is pretty cool. All right. Number 16. At any level of the game, how long do players inbounding the ball have to pass the ball into play?
Oh, we have 5 seconds to inbound
Correct.
the ball.
Yep. Question 17. What is the standard floor dimensions for a North American basketball court? Ooh. That's an interesting one. So they want the long by the wide, if you want to just try to throw some numbers out there.
I think it's like 80 by 20.
No. Not 80 by 20. Got another guess? Or do you want to call it?
70 by 25.
No. Yeah, just keep throwing numbers out there. Eventually you'll get it. You got one more guess if you want to go for it.
I'm not going to get this one.
All right. We'll call it. The answer is 94 long by 50 feet wide.
You know what? I think I knew that once upon a time. I used to know that.
I might could have won that. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. That's only your first wrong. You made it to the 17th question before you got one wrong.
Yeah. 16-1.
Yeah, not bad. Better records than some teams have.
Well, in football, that's...
Yeah,
I'm going to win the Super Bowl.
That's we're going to the Super Bowl, baby. We'll do that another trivia time. We'll give Dan some NFL questions.
I won't do as good at that. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, question 18. What is the length of a three-point line in the NBA?
It's not. It's a different distance because it's an arc.
Right. They give a specific feet and inches measurement here. See if you can at least get close.
Because it's furthest straight up.
Right.
But to the sides, it's not as far.
I think they're looking for the actual, length of it. Like, how many feet and how many inches from the rim.
I'm going to guess the long one, the straight up cross.
Yeah.
I don't know what the number is now.
No? Okay.
Like 30 feet?
Not quite, no.
It's like 29 and a half or something.
No, it's not. It's still not that big. Give up. This one's a challenging one. That's one I would expect you to get anyway.
25.
It's 23 feet 9 inches.
Yeah.
So your last guess was the closest. All right.
Yeah, it's one of those things because it's not a full arc, you know?
Yeah.
It's because it gets to this part where if the arc continued, it would be out of bounds.
Right.
But so they just cut it off.
That measurement, though, what they were giving is the top of the arc.
Yeah, just straightforward.
Straightforward, yep. All right, question 19. What are the 3 parts of the hoop, the 3 basic pieces?
Oh, 3 parts of the hoop?
Yep.
I mean, like the ring, the net, the backboard?
Yep, rim, net, and backboard.
Yeah.
And then question number 20. How many referee teams are used in the NBA?
How many teams?
How many refs are out there on the court?
How many refs are on a court at once?
Yeah. They call it a team. It's how many refs are being used.
3?
Correct. 3. All right, so at the end of those 20 questions, your score, I believe, is 18-2.
18-2, yes.
Very good. All right.
This was the easy section.
Yeah. Okay, here is your NBA history quiz. Question 21 to 40 will be about the history. You ready? Okay.
Suppose.
Who is awarded with the title of inventing basketball?
Dr. James Naismith.
Correct. Number 22. How many rules did basketball originally have?
I think just put the ball in the basket.
Not quite, no. They had more than that.
Was it like 5?
More than that.
7.
No.
All right, well, I did 1, 5, 7. So.
Yeah, it's okay. 13 was the correct answer. What year was basketball created? This is actually older than I thought it was going to be.
Well, the NBA itself just hit 75, so it's older than that.
Right. So they're looking for the actual year basketball was created. It's actually a lot longer ago than I would have thought it would be. Take a wild guess.
I know the story. I watched a video all about it and everything.
We'll take a guess on the year. I'll tell you if it's higher or lower.
1908.
Lower. Or earlier than that, actually.
04.
Earlier than that.
02.
No. 1892.
I was 18.
Yeah. I had no idea it existed before the turn of the century.
Yeah, there was like some kind of... he was...
The last turn of the century. I have to specify that, people. We're in 2022 now.
Yeah. It was... He was like the gym teacher at like a college, and there was like some kind of storm or something like that for a long time, and he had to come up with a way for the boys to get their energy out.
Oh my god, that's a good story.
So he came up with basketball.
Okay. All right, next question. Who invented the shot clock, which ended up bringing life back into the world of American basketball?
Sons of bitches. I don't know the guy's name, but he's from Syracuse, New York.
That's okay. His name is Danny Biasone.
Yes, from Syracuse. Worked for the Nationals. Yes,
that's really cool. When was the shot clock introduced and first used in an NBA match?
This was like 56.
Ooh, close. Guess again.
7.
No.
5.
Yes. Between 54 and 55. Then. Yep, correct.
And Syracuse won the NBA championship the year the shot clock was introduced by a guy who worked for the Nationals.
So in case any of you want to know why Dan chose NBA history, this is why. Dan's a Syracuse boy.
Syracuse had an original NBA team. So did Rochester.
Yeah.
Syracuse team is now the Philadelphia 76ers. The Rochester team is now the Sacramento Kings.
Would Rochester and Syracuse have been natural enemies then? Like, as far as, like, division rivals and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And even still now with the AAA baseball teams, there's the three-way series. Albany, Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo.
Okay.
4 teams.
All right.
All on your way.
Your next question. When did the National Basketball Association get its official start? This one should be simple math.
75 years ago.
Yep.
Except for now the year is 22. So we're looking at a 7. So
see, I would
1946.
No. Guess
7.
again. Guess again.
1948.
48.
Yes.
48 is the correct answer.
1948.
Yep. Now, the NBA was originally called by another name. What was it?
Was it NBL?
No.
Oh my goodness. This is something that I've definitely read. But I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I don't.
The Basketball Association of America.
BAA.
The BAA, yes. The next question is, how many teams did the BAA start out with?
8?
Little more than that.
10.
More than that.
12.
The answer was 11.
It was 11. They had an odd number of teams?
However, they lost 4 of them after the first season, so they were down to 7.
Yeah, that's the way things go sometimes.
Yeah, things like that happen.
A lot of leagues start out too big, and they have to bring it back.
Some leagues are still too big, and they should still bring them back. But all right, next question. The owner of the Fort Wayne Pistons is credited for keeping the NBA financially afloat during its initial financial crisis. What is his name?
Guy that owned the Fort Wayne Pistons. Again, I've definitely read his name.
Yeah. Dude, it's like that Simpsons trivia. I've seen the episode, and I don't remember what happened there, so.
Fort Wayne is who Syracuse played 2 years in a row in the championship.
Fort Wayne, Indiana,
one,
right?
We won one.
That's Fort Wayne, Indiana they're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a guess, or you want to call it?
I don't want to call it.
Okay. His name is Frank Zollner.
Zollner, yeah.
Frank Zollner, yep. How many teams did the NBA have in 1955?
1955. 16.
Less than that.
15.
No. It's an even number, but less than that.
So 12.
So take your first guess and divide it by half.
What?
They only had 8.
Teams?
They only had 8 teams in 1955. Yep.
Wow. Counting that as wrong. I'm at 9 wrong. Wow.
Now, you knew this was going to be the harder part of the quiz.
Yeah.
All right, question 31. Wait, so if you have 9 wrong, then you are 21-9. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, pretty good. What team is officially acknowledged as the first expansion team? First expansion team. This is actually interesting because there's a little bit of additional trivia here.
Oh, yeah. Who was the first expansion team? First expansion team.
It's a popular team.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Minneapolis Lakers?
No, but you're pretty close.
Pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
In what way? Geographically?
Geographically.
So the Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks.
No, but you're still in the right area. Take one more guess.
Chicago?
Chicago Bulls is the correct answer.
Okay.
However, it says that they have an official expansion draft even though they joined after the Washington Wizards. So there's a little bit of additional trivia for you.
So the Wizards joined, but they weren't considered a full-on expansion.
Correct.
So they went with the players they had in like a lower league.
Yeah, who they had, exactly.
Yeah.
How many championships did the Boston Celtics win from 1957 to 1969? So that would be 13 seasons.
I believe it's 8.
Not quite.
9?
No.
10.
No. 11.
They won 11 of them.
11 out of 13, yeah. That was the dynasty team back then, I guess.
Yeah, they have 26 total, and the Lakers have 27.
Ooh, that's crazy. In what era did we see the Minneapolis Lakers making a comeback? So,
what era?
So they're looking for a decade.
Oh.
I'll give you a hint. They won 5 titles in this decade.
Oh, in Minneapolis?
Mm-hmm.
Should be 70s?
Mm-mm.
60s then.
Mm-mm.
5 titles in Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
Well, only thing that's left is the 50s then.
So the answer they give is the 2000s.
Well, it's the Los Angeles Lakers.
That's a wonky question. I say we scratch it.
Okay.
All right, scratch one. So
they should have just said Lakers and not Minneapolis then.
Yeah, that might just be a mishap on there, like a little typo. Maybe I'll write to them and yell at them for the typo. All right. Which is the only period in history that did not have a single franchise winning at least 4 NBA titles?
So we're talking about a decade in which one team didn't win 4.
Didn't win 4, yeah. Apparently, this is actually a very wide range, believe it or not.
So more than a whole decade?
Yes. Actually, yes. Quite longer.
In which a single team didn't get 4 in that period of time.
All right, so start with a guess with where you think the first decade would have been.
Jeez. Probably back in the 60s?
Not quite.
70s then?
Okay, yep. So it's the 70s, and now let's see if you can get the range. So from the 70s up until what decade?
See here, in the 80s, no, they didn't. They didn't get to the. They stopped each other. Neither the Celtics or the Lakers won that many in the 80s. So we get to the 90s where the Bulls won 6, but it took 8 years. So I guess technically until the Bulls got there in 97, after they won 4 in 6 years.
So
right?
if it starts in the 70s, where are you saying it ends?
Let's see. 95-96 season, Bulls win their 4th championship in 6 years.
So it's actually longer than that. The correct answer is the 1970s until the 2010s.
And what are they counting? Winning 4 in a row?
Winning at least 4 titles, yeah.
Winning at least 4 titles?
Every single decade, somebody won at least 4 titles. So you didn't start getting variety until after 2010.
Oh, okay. I was thinking backward. I think I was thinking the opposite.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. All right. Next one. When did the ABA merge with the NBA?
78?
Not quite.
79?
Mm-mm. It's in the 70s.
77.
Nope, 76.
Wow, it was bicentennial?
Yeah, I guess so. Where was the league founded in 1946? They're looking for the city.
Where the league headquarters were in 19...
Yeah, so what city would this been?
See, it could be something weird because it was then.
It's not uncommon.
Is it New York City?
Correct.
Okay, because it's still in New York City.
Yep.
although they have like a base in Secaucus.
Secaucus. Ugh. After I take the train to New York City.
That's where they have like where they go and they have to like if they do a replay, like they have to like show a replay or whatever and have like a
So now every time I go to New York City, I take the train in Secaucus because I don't want to drive in Jersey City at all. And Secaucus is so much easier.
So they go to Secaucus to the head of the referee group or whatever.
Right. Which is the national governing body for the which is the national governing body for basketball in the United States?
The national governing body?
Mm-hmm. It's an acronym, is what they're looking for.
Oh my god, what do they call it?
4 letters.
FIBA? FIBA?
Mm-mm.
That's like the international thing, like FIFA, but it's basketball.
You're on the right track. Because you're looking for something with a more national acronym.
Oh, I know, because it's the one that picks the who gets to go into the Olympics. Jesus, what is it? Comes up every few years because they have to pick the new Olympic team.
Every 4 years, right?
Yeah. I'm not gonna give it.
The USAB. All right, this one should be easy. Who is the most recent NBA championship winner for the 17th title?
For the 17th title?
Mm-hmm.
So the most recent winner is Golden State Warriors. But when was this last changed?
May 18th, yeah.
So it'd be the Milwaukee Bucks.
No.
Would be the most recent champion.
It's not the answer they give. Unless they... Well, maybe they haven't updated the whole quiz.
Or you mean a team that got to 17?
Yeah.
I think it's...
This was originally written on August 29th, 2021 is when the quiz was first written, if that helps.
Well, I think I previously said the 27 thing. That was wrong. I think they're both at 17. So the most recent between the Lakers and the Celtics is the Celtics.
The answer they give is the Lakers.
So Lakers won since 09? Oh, yeah! They won the COVID Cup!
The year that never happened.
Where they spent the second half of the year at Disney.
Okay.
Yeah. So Lakers won the COVID Cup. Yeah.
Who was the first black player to actually play in an NBA match? This one I actually didn't know, and I've heard of this guy's name, but I actually didn't know this answer.
That was something I used to know.
Although this is probably why I know his name, now that I think about it.
This is, again, one I used to know, like, back in high school and stuff, when I had read all this stuff.
Well, we're almost done with this section, so...
Oh, good. I'm not going to get him.
His name is Earl Lloyd.
Earl Lloyd, yeah.
All right, and then the last question for this section. When did the iconic NBA logo featuring the silhouette of Jerry West officially debut?
The year?
Mm-hmm.
Jerry West logo. It was like 81?
You've got the one correct, but not the right decade.
71?
71.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember when he actually played.
Although it does specify that the typeface changes were made in 2017.
Well, yeah, that's just the NBA part.
Okay. So that was 40 questions. I know we struck one, so what's your score right now?
So we struck one, so I am at the 24-15.
Okay, not bad still. That was a hard section. The next questions are all about NBA players.
Okay.
All right, ready? All right, number 41. The rivalry between these two players during the 1980s helped the NBA grow into a widely watched televised program and helped the association cut highly profitable TV deals. Who were they?
Irvin Magic Johnson and Larry Bird.
Correct. Number 42. The NBA began as a way for NHL owners to make profits on the days when NHL teams were not playing. True or false?
Because there weren't NHL teams in those cities.
So was that true or false then?
False.
False. The answer is true. This is why the first 5 teams were all in cities which already had NHL teams: Boston, Toronto, New York, Detroit, Chicago. So how about that? The NBA started as a way for NHL owners to make money. Why does that just sound right to me?
Funny, because they have their seasons at the exact same time.
Yeah, I know. I guess it wasn't always that way.
Well, I mean, there's, when the NHL team is somewhere else, the basketball team is here,
Ooh, this one might be a hard one. Who was the first African-American player to get signed for a contract by a team? So I'll give you a little bit of extra trivia here. He was cut from the team during his time at the training camp and never actually played. So I would not know this one.
I have no idea.
His name is Harold Hunter. Harold Hunter. How about that? You're historic, but you never got to play. Which player officially broke the NBA's color barrier and became the first non-white player in NBA history?
I'm guessing it wasn't.
Well,
he wasn't black then.
He was not black, no.
So what was he? Was he a Native American?
He was Japanese, if that helps.
The Japanese is the first non-white American?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
In 1947 and 48. Do you know his name?
I have no idea.
Wataru Misaka.
Kazuchika Okada.
It was not Kazuchika Okada, who I don't believe was alive in 47 and 48. But I wouldn't be surprised because I've seen how well New Japan Pro wrestlers age. So you might be able to tell me he was alive then. Question 45. Which player's decision to switch teams from Cleveland Cavaliers to Miami Heat had a whole show on ESPN called The Decision?
LeBron James.
LeBron James. All right, and speaking of LeBron James, when did LeBron finally bring the NBA title to the Cleveland Cavaliers after he returned in 2014?
14, 15, 15, the 15-16 season.
The answer is 2016, correct.
He did not win the first year, but he won the second year.
Right. So he finally got them their medal.
Yeah, yes.
All right. Which NBA player was awarded the Double Helix Medal for his work in the field of raising awareness for cancer research?
Double Helix.
I'll give you a hint. He'd been leading with leukemia since 2009, if that helps.
I'm guessing he had it.
Yes.
Who left for cancer treatment?
Yeah, this is a very famous player too, so.
I'm thinking of always other players that left, but not for cancer.
He's one of those guys where you know his name because it's unusual, if that helps.
It's unusual.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who had to stop for cancer treatment. I can't remember. I don't know who left for cancer treatment.
You have a guess at all or no?
No, I don't.
All right. The answer was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, like that's one of those players, like, if you don't know anything about basketball.
He didn't leave because he had already been retired for like 20 years when it happened.
Okay. Who is the youngest player to be drafted by the NBA number 1?
Number 1?
Mm-hmm.
Youngest player, number 1. Number 1, I believe, Kwame Brown, Washington Wizards.
No. We actually just talked about this person.
LeBron James?
LeBron James is correct.
All
right.
Second guess, right?
Yeah, that counts. After this player shattered the hoop and the backboard very often, the NBA had to turn, breaking the basket ring into a technical foul. Who is this?
Monroe.
No, not Monroe.
No. Dawkins?
Mm-mm.
No, who is it? It was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
He did it so often, and it kept on happening.
They kept doing it. They had to change the rule.
They actually changed the rule for him, whereas later they had to like
reinforce it, right?
Because Shaq became an issue, but he wasn't actually. He didn't like.
Nope, that's the correct answer. Is Shaq? Shaq's the correct answer. You got it.
Because they actually like almost made the dunk illegal for this one guy.
Because he kept breaking them.
But I remember I was actually watching a game with Shaq, early Shaq, like second, third year, and he dunked it. He didn't break it, but he fucked up the hydraulics, and the whole thing came down like it's
it was in
storage mode.
That's great. That's awesome. All right, this is actually question 50. ESPN voted this player to be the greatest center of all time and the second best player in NBA history after Michael Jordan. Who is he?
So, is it Bill? Is it Wilt? Or is it Kareem?
You are correct. Those were your 3 guesses, and you got one of them right. The answer was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Is it Kareem? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, or Kareem. That's always the question.
Which NBA player had trained under Bruce Lee and appeared in the film Game of Death?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Correct. All right, let's take a break from Kareem questions now. Which player holds the record for career regular season scoring and playoff scoring average?
LeBron James.
No. Not LeBron.
Scoring average?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, isn't it like something weird? Like somebody that's not even like a top guy?
No, it's a top guy. This is definitely a top tier. This is a main eventer.
Is it?
Yeah, this is a WrestleMania main eventer.
Is it Jordan?
It is Jordan.
Jordan. Yeah.
30.12 PPG for regular season, 33.45 playoff record average.
Yeah, you gotta step it up in the playoffs.
Exactly. Who is the only athlete ever to become a billionaire?
That has since changed.
Yes.
We are now at 3.
Well, take a guess.
Jordan.
Jordan is the answer they were looking for. Initially, the only athlete to be a billionaire was Tiger Woods, but he lost so many sponsors.
But now he's back. He just recently got back.
Yeah, he just got back, but...
And then also just recently, LeBron hit it, too.
Yep. Thanks, Space Jam. Hey, if you want to become a billionaire, do a Space Jam movie.
I mean, 2 out of 3, but technically it's because of he's part of the Wrigley. I mean, not Wrigley. Fenway Sports Group.
Yeah.
That owns like 4 or 5 teams.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So being a major contributor to a group that owns 5 sports franchises gets you to $1 billion.
Definitely gonna help for sure. Who is the first guard to be drafted right out of high school by the NBA?
First guard?
Mm-hmm.
Drafted right out of high school. So there was somebody like back in the 80s that was taken right out of high school.
It's not that long ago.
But I'm thinking that guy wasn't the guard. So that's what I'm thinking, that guy wasn't the guard. So right. I'm going to guess it's Kobe Bryant.
Correct. R.I.P. Kobe Bryant. Which NBA player is ambidextrous and shoots with his non-dominant hand?
So somebody shoots lefty?
Mm-hmm.
Despite being ambidextrous.
Well, he doesn't shoot lefty. He is a lefty. But
he shoots righty?
He shoots righty because he wants to emulate his idols, Michael Jordan and Penny Hardaway. So who's somebody who would idolize those two? It's a name we've already talked about.
Is that a name we've already talked about?
Mm-hmm. LeBron James.
Wow.
Yep.
I didn't know he was ambidextrial.
He does it simply because he wants to shoot like his idols. That's kind of cool. I mean, it's working for him, so why change it up, right? This one should be interesting. Who are the only 4 players in NBA history to have a quadruple double?
Shit. So we're talking 10 points, 10 blocks, 10 rebounds, 10 assists.
See if you can get it.
Well, blocks or steals.
Right. Only 4 of them have it, and they're not anybody that you'd normally bring up in conversation, so they might be obscure. I'll see if you can take a guess.
Well, if we got steals, we could have somebody like Jason Kidd or Gary Payton could happen.
And neither one of those are on here.
Russell Westbrook could possibly get that.
Not him.
John Stockton might be able to get in there.
Yes, that's a no as well.
If we got to bigs, then we're talking like Wilt and Russell could have done that.
Neither.
Because Wilt 1 year got yelled at for never passing the ball. So the next year he's like, fuck you. And he led the league in assists. Because fuck you.
That's awesome.
I'm out.
All right. So the answers are Nate Thurmond.
Okay.
Alvin Robertson.
Yeah.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
See, that was another big I was thinking of, but I went with the name guys.
And then David Robinson.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I do know about David Robinson. He's the most recent one.
Okay.
All right.
Which player got a note from Shaquille O'Neal after he outscored Shaq in every department in 1995?
Somebody?
Just talked about this person.
Oh, so it was Robinson or Hakeem?
Hakeem.
It was Hakeem.
Hakeem Olajuwon. Shaq gave him a note. Probably said, hey, don't do it again.
Well, Hakeem had just won back-to-back championships. Actually beating Shaq in one of them. So.
Oh, this is an interesting one. How many shots has the shortest player in NBA history blocked?
1.
No. Way more
2?
than that. No, way more than that.
Way more?
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking Muggsy Bogues.
Good old Muggsy.
Like 10?
39.
Muggsy!
Muggsy, yeah. Good for him.
I mean, he did have ups. Not Spud Webb-like ups, but he had ups.
Which player got stabbed 11 times in his face, neck, and back while trying to break up a club fight, but returned to the court 3 days later?
Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce. Started 83 games that season for Boston.
83?
Yeah.
That must have been some kind of tiebreaker or something.
And question number 60. Which NBA player went to medical school before he came to the court?
Go to school.
Medical school. Doesn't say, like, what kind of medical school.
I have no idea who went to medical school.
Pau Gasol.
Pau Gasol.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we've gone 60.
He went to Spanish medical school.
Spanish medical school. We got 60. We did strike one. So where are you sitting at right now?
22 wrong. 37 right.
Good. You're still on the top percentage. Hey, if you can get more right than wrong, you're a winner. You're a winner at Trivia Night. The next section is about teams. This one should be up your alley.
Okay.
All right. Which team dominated the early decades of the NBA?
Early decades?
Mm-hmm.
Pistons?
Not the Pistons.
It was the Fort Wayne Pistons. And,
You're in the right area geographically.
oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Am I?
Yeah? They're not in the city anymore.
They're the Minneapolis Lakers?
Minneapolis Lakers.
Okay.
Which, George, is it Meekin or Mikan?
Mikan, yes.
Mikan. Yep, that was their golden era. This team has reached 5 consecutive NBA Finals and won 3 of them in the past decade. Which team is it?
Last decade?
Mm-hmm.
They went to 5 in a row?
5 consecutive Finals and won 3 of them.
Golden State Warriors.
Golden State Warriors, correct. You actually gave the answer to this one earlier. Which 2 teams have won the most titles in NBA history?
It's the Lakers and Celtics.
Yep, 17 each. Which team signed the first African-American man in NBA history?
Was it the Knickerbockers?
No. It's East Coast. It's an East Coast team.
Text it. Who else?
You got 2 more guesses. Use them. Would you like to phone a friend or ask the audience?
I don't see it being the Celtics because it was a big.
It's not the Celtics, no.
Yeah.
You got one more guess. Use it.
Around when would this have been?
It doesn't give me a year, so I can't give you that.
Is it Washington?
Washington Capitals. Correct. Washington Capitals is the answer. Which team holds the record for the NBA's longest winning streak?
Phoenix Suns.
No.
No, didn't the Heat beat it?
Nope, not the Heat. It's 33 straight between 71 and 72.
In the 71-72 season?
Mm-hmm.
So it was the Lakers?
The Lakers.
Yeah.
Correct.
I know it was always a thing because, like, every 5 to 10 years, there's a team that gets, like, over 10, and it becomes a big thing for a couple weeks.
33 is
like,
pretty
can
big,
they do it? Can they do it? And
then they don't do it.
Teams get to, like, 20-something.
Well,
I remember in the early to mid 90s when the hunt for Maris started becoming a thing because somebody just hit 50 one year.
Right.
And for a couple of years, it was a thing before they finally did it. Before Sosa and McGuire finally
97.
Did it.
I remember.
So I remember it because for like a couple of years before that, it was a thing too.
You know, that's what actually reignited my love for baseball. That's
what happened for a lot of people because of
the
lockout.
Because I'd always liked baseball, but I wasn't really a big follower of it. But then that's what did it, and then I started watching baseball, like hardcore watching baseball after that.
I remember they were interrupting regular television shows because Mark McGuire
was up to bat, just because he was up to bat. Yeah, exactly. All right, I like this one. From where do the Denver Nuggets get their name?
For the gold in the mountains.
Yeah, correct. The 19th century mining boom, because everybody want to go get their gold.
Yes.
And also silver.
It's also why the San Francisco 49ers are called the 49ers.
Mm-hmm. What is the original name of the New York Knicks?
Knickerbockers?
The Knickerbockers.
Yeah.
Where is the Naismith? Sorry, yeah. Is it Naismith or Naismith?
Naismith.
Where is the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame located?
Basketball Hall of Fame is in Massachusetts?
It is in Massachusetts. Do you know the city, though?
And it's not Boston proper, is it?
It's not Boston, no.
Oh, crap. Is it Springfield?
Correct. Springfield, Massachusetts. I was going to give you a hint and tell you that they have a nuclear power plant.
I was like, I know it's in Massachusetts. It's not like, when it's not like it's synonymous as like Canton for football.
Yeah.
Or
Cooperstown.
Because like sometimes they just say, you're going to go to Cooperstown or you're going to go to Canton. And they just like, you're supposed to just know that's where the Hall of Fame is because it's so synonymous. It's not like that. Do you know where the Boxing Hall of Fame is?
I actually do not know that.
It is near where I lived in New York.
Is it really?
Yes.
Okay. See, I would have guessed like Vegas. It was.
Yeah, it is so weird. It's just like in the middle of nowhere.
Where's the NHL Hall of Fame at?
It's in Toronto, I believe.
Is it Toronto?
I'm pretty sure it's in Toronto.
It's not even in America.
Well, probably shouldn't be.
It makes a lot more sense to be in Canada, that's for sure.
You know where the NASCAR Hall of Fame is?
North Carolina, right?
In Charlotte.
In Charlotte, yeah.
It's opened up since we've lived here.
That's awesome.
Anyway, more NBA questions.
Oh, we're not done with NASCAR yet? Okay. All right, question number 69.
Nice.
How many players have the class of 2019 Hall of Fame officially inducted? So basically, how many people are in as of the class of 2019?
Oh, as in like hundreds of people?
Yes.
Shit. I like 200.
More than that.
300?
More than that.
400.
401.
401.
I wonder who the one is.
Now you keep in mind it's not just players, right? There's like coaches and executives, and
but
there's people who
they're
are important to the
specifically
sport.
looking for players.
Like I'm sure like Bob Ryan, old school writer for the Celtics is probably in there.
Which team had in its roster a 3-term senator from New Jersey?
A 3-term senator from New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Now I know there was the guy that tried to run for senator. It's the New York Knicks.
New York Knicks, yep.
It was what's his face?
His name is Bill Bradley.
Yes, Bill Bradley.
They're just looking for the team name, so you got it right.
Yeah.
Yep. He won 2 championships, made 1 All-Star team, and was a Democratic presidential candidate.
Yeah, he ran for president like in 2000, I think. He didn't get past the initial.
No, because 2000 would have been Al Gore. That was Al Gore and W. Bush. So, which 2 teams played in the game with the largest margin of victory in NBA history? That was actually interesting. Which 2 teams this is?
Oh yeah.
The date would have been December 17th, 1991. If that helps at all.
So it's my father's birthday.
Your father's birthday, yup.
My father's 29th birthday. Now my father's, yes. My father's 29th birthday.
All right, so who played?
So 1991, so that could be like expansion, Orlando or Miami.
Okay, you got one of them, Miami Heat.
So they were like almost brand new, I believe, at that point. They had only been around for like a couple years, maybe.
Yep. So who'd they play?
The Bulls?
Not the Bulls.
It wasn't the Bulls.
It's a team that's been around just as long.
The Lakers?
Mm-mm.
So who would have been good? Knicks would have been good.
It's not the Knicks.
What's the Ewing time? Well, that's 3 guesses. So
Cavaliers.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Cavaliers and the Heat.
So who won?
That doesn't tell you that. We can look that up later, though.
It should have been the Cavaliers because they had a couple good players at that point. So
when did the Oklahoma City Thunder win an NBA championship?
Oklahoma City Thunder?
Mm-hmm.
Never, but as the Seattle
Supersonics, yes. Which is what they
won one in.
Larry Wilkins was the coach. They played the Washington Bullets, if that helps.
Sonics won one like in a weird point.
We'll see if you can guess
80 or 81?
Earlier than that.
79?
79. You got it.
Yeah. I know there's like a weird Sonics win in there.
Dude, that's how they worded it too. In 1979, when they were playing as the Seattle Supersonics, they did that to trick you.
Well, guess what? Next time there's an expansion, Seattle Supersonics are back, and the Oklahoma City Thunder are losing all that history.
Yeah, they are.
Just like what happened when the Browns moved and became the Ravens, and then the Browns came back, all that history's gone. They went back to the Browns.
The Minneapolis Lakers moved to LA, where there are no lakes. The New Orleans Jazz moved to Salt Lake City, where they don't care for music. We need a basketball quiz in here. From where do the Indiana Pacers get their name?
Well, it's the pace car for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Indianapolis 500.
Correct. Also, the harness racing that would go on in Indianapolis. But yeah, pace car was also one of the answers. How many NBA championships have the Indiana Pacers won?
NBA?
Mm-hmm.
I think NBA is 0.
No, they actually do have a number here. take a guess.
Just one, then?
No, they got more than that.
Indiana Pacers?
Yeah. They have more than one.
2?
No.
3.
1963, 1970, and 1972.
Those are ABA championships.
No. All right. That's 2 things we're going to write to these guys and complain about. Let me write that down. Let's make this list even bigger.
I think they count them at par at this point, I think. So
yeah, it's one of those things, the merger. And...
It's not, yeah.
Well, I'll give it to you because you still knew the answer, so... Where is the team the Golden State Warriors based in?
Oakland. It's what Oakland / San Francisco.
They say San Francisco, but yeah. That's pretty much the same city. I know, don't tell them that, but...
It's just opposite sides of one giant bay.
That's like saying that the Twin Cities are the same city. I'm sure that doesn't offend anybody. How many BAA titles do the Golden State Warriors hold? BAA, yep.
So they currently have 7 total world championships.
Okay.
But how many from before? So 3?
Mm-mm. No.
2.
No.
1.
Correct.
Yeah.
One of them was a BAA title.
1 was a BAA.
While playing for this team, Isaiah Thomas scored 16 points in 94 seconds and still lost. Which team is it?
How is Isaiah spelled?
ISIAH.
Because there's 2 Isaiah Thomases.
Okay.
One, as far as I know, all played his entire career for Detroit.
Detroit Pistons, correct.
So, yeah.
And they were playing the Knicks. Who was the first to score 2,000 points in a season and for what team?
First person to score 2,000 points.
Mm-hmm. It was actually 2,001 points was the total.
Wilt?
It's not Wilt.
Is it pre-Wilt?
What's Wilt's era?
70s into the early 80s.
Yes, it's pre-Wilt.
Shit.
You may not know this one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
His name is George Yardley, and he played for the Detroit Falcons in 1957 and 58.
Scored 2,000 points.
2001.
Obviously, that wasn't when they were playing 82 games a year.
No, right. Which is the only team to win both the dunk contest and the shootout?
There's a year where the dunk champion and the three-point champion were from the same team.
They're just looking for the team, not the player.
Yeah, I'm saying like the winner of the 2 contests were from the same team.
Right.
Going through my head.
Going through all them teams in your head.
Is it Bulls?
No, not the Bulls.
Craig Hodges and
It's still a big franchise team, though.
What's the year?
It doesn't give me a year. It might have been... That might have given it away.
It would have if it was anything. For me, it would have given it away. If you would have given me the year. I was thinking like Craig Hodges and Jordan, but no.
I'll take a guess.
Trying to think of like who would have been really good. Celtics.
Mm-mm.
Not D Gordon and Larry Bird.
Get one more guess.
Lakers.
No. The Miami Heat.
Okay.
Miami Heat. All right.
Did they say who it was?
It does not, no.
Wow.
If it did, I would have.
Probably Harold Miner when he won 2 in a row in the early mid 90s.
Which team had a 10-game winning and losing streaks in the same season? That's impressive. 10-game winning and losing streak in the same season.
It's been like and it was like a good team too, but it was just like they had early woes, I think. So it would have been like a LeBron Cavs team, maybe, or like a.
It's not the Cavs.
Or a team that had like a big trade, turned them around. The Suns?
The Suns.
Yeah.
Phoenix Suns. All right.
They give a year?
They do not, no. So that is 80 questions now. Again, we did strike one, so that leaves us with how many?
I'm at 54 correct and 25 incorrect.
Okay. The last section is called Funny NBA Facts. So this is going to be kind of like your potpourri. Your potpourri section. And this is going to take us all the way to the 111th question. So, are you ready for the final countdown, Daniel? When were the Nike Air Jordan shoes first released?
Oh, whether were the Air Jordan 1s, which is the ones I want the most. I love that design the most. It wasn't right away. It might have not even been until the 90s.
Nope. It was not the 90s. It was in the 80s.
But it was only like 89.
Earlier than that.
88?
Earlier than that.
87.
85.
85? I didn't think it was like that right away. I thought it was several years.
Yeah, they weren't messing around. Let's get these shoes on the market. But yeah, I've seen the original, the Air Jordan 1 design. Them. Yeah, that's the cool design.
The red, black, and white. Like...
Yeah, it's really cool. I wish I had a picture I could just show you guys real quick. We don't have that fancy of a setup yet. We're working on it, guys. Become a patron. Patreon.com/clubkayfabe. We can afford that setup. There's your plug. There was a certain fine that players had to pay if they wore Air Jordans in court. How much was the fine? I never heard of this.
It was $10,000.
Less than that.
$1,000.
More than that.
$5,000.
$5,000. Michael Jordan was actually one of the ones that got fined, but Nike paid all his fines so he could keep playing in his shoes.
Yeah. It's a weird thing because like when leagues and teams get contracts like that.
Yeah.
Because I remember like the Dream Team, they were sponsored by Reebok. And he's like, I am not. And so what he ended up doing is he wore the Reebok stuff, but he covered up the Reebok logo with tape. So he's like, ha, I wore your clothes. You can't penalize me.
There you go. That's awesome. This player's parents had to co-sign his NBA contract because he was a legal minor at the time. Who is it?
Well, if LeBron James was the youngest person ever done.
It was not LeBron. But you are close with that youngin legacy there.
Is it Kobe?
It is Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
All right, we talked about this guy earlier. Who is the shortest person to play in the NBA?
That was Tyrone Muggsy Bogues.
5'3". Who is the tallest person to play in the NBA?
Manute Bol at 7'7".
7'7", correct.
And they were teammates in Washington.
Question 86. Which team had both the tallest and shortest players in NBA history playing for them at the same time?
Bullets.
Correct. How many NBA players go broke after just 5 years of retirement, according to a study done by Sports Illustrated in 2009? It
was like 50%.
A little more than that, yeah.
Like 51, 52.
No. A little higher than that.
55.
60%.
Yeah.
This is due to the luxurious lifestyle they get used to while they are playing ball for the NBA. That's the thing, right?
The thing for a lot of leagues.
Once you retire, you can't spend as much money.
Well, the issue is you spent a lot of money right away.
Yeah.
And then there's all the people that they trusted somebody they shouldn't have trusted with their money.
Exactly.
So that's a big thing now when people get in their first year, they get taught a lot of things because it's, for many of them in these leagues, as poor as, I mean, it's the stereotype, but it's the rule. You're usually a poor inner city black guy and you just have these insane skills. And so you go from poverty to here's $10 million and next year you'll make 20.
It's an extreme turnover, which is why
it's an extreme change in lifestyle.
Yeah. Yep, that'll do it to you. What is Kobe Bryant's middle name?
Bean.
Named after his father, Joe Jelly Bean Bryant.
Yep.
Which NBA player performed the role of the grandfather in the Pacific Northwest ballet performance of the Nutcracker?
Was it Kareem?
No, it's not Kareem. It was somebody from the Supersonics, if that helps.
Okay, so it would have been like Sean Kemp?
Not Sean Kemp.
Or Gary Payton?
Nope.
All right, that's 3. So
the answer is Vladimir Radmanovich. Yep.
Yeah.
That's an obscure question. I would have known that. Question 90. Which player was well known for picking up his captain, Meadowlark Lemon, off the ground and throwing him up in the air and catching him?
What's the other guy?
You've guessed this name a bunch this quiz, and this is the first time he's actually come up.
Really?
Mm-hmm. One of the most famous and possibly one of the best players of all time. He hasn't been answered quite yet.
So is it Bill Russell then?
Nope. The other guy you keep guessing.
Wilt
Chamberlain. That's funny. Just kept picking him up and tossing him. Because why not? So after 90, where are you standing now?
I have 61 correct.
All right. Well, we got 20 to go, so let's see if we can get you up to 81. Where did the three-point shot originally come from?
Where did it come from?
Mm-hmm.
I think the three-pointer was an ABA invention.
Yep, correct.
Yeah.
Adopted for the 79 and 80 season.
So, hey, ABA players, welcome to the NBA. We're going to use your three-point line.
Tim Duncan has this Disney character famously tattooed on his skin. Who is it?
He's got someone tattooed on him?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Mickey?
It's not Mickey.
I think I've seen this. I'm sure I have.
It's from a movie.
It's from a movie.
It's a movie character, yeah.
Okay.
Before the Renaissance. Before the Disney Renaissance.
Pre-Renaissance.
Pre-Renaissance, yep. It's a cool character. It's an eccentric character. So it's pre-Renaissance, and it's not one of the big five.
So somewhere in the 70s or 80s.
Actually, I think this was a 60s movie. I'm almost positive this was a 60s animated movie.
60s. Yeah, I'm out of time.
Merlin. Merlin the Wizard is the correct answer.
Merlin. From Sword in the Stone.
Sword in the Stone, yep. Which player met his wife at the set of a rap video?
Shaq.
Nope.
See who else did a rap. Or were they the rapper? Or were they like a guest?
I'm actually not sure. This one I don't know. I can't help you with this one.
Who met their wife? Was it Dwayne Wade?
No, not Dwayne Wade.
No. All right, I have no idea.
Kobe Bryant. I don't know
I'm
if
gonna
he ever
guess,
did a rap video.
I'm going to guess he was in a rap video and not doing it.
I'm going to guess too. Yeah, I don't think he was the one doing the rapping, but... What basketball technique did God Shamgod, a New York NBA legend, pioneer?
A shooting technique?
It just says basketball technique. It's named after him, so it's the Shamgod blank.
Oh, Shamgod. Oh.
Have you heard of this before?
Maybe. I don't. I'm not going to get this one either.
It's called the Shamgod crossover.
Oh.
How many games did God Shamgod finish before he went overseas to have a successful career?
How many games did he play in?
Yeah, did he finish? Yeah, it's not many.
Just like 100?
No, way less than that.
Like 50?
Less than that.
25.
20 games with the Washington Wizards. That's interesting. And then he went overseas. Well,
all he had was that crossover.
Yeah, I guess so.
It reminds me of like the episode of Boondocks where was it Huey has like mad handles but can't do anything else.
He can't do anything else, yeah. Well, that was my issue when we would play basketball. I could shoot really well, but I couldn't do anything else. So if I could get into position and you could get me the ball, I could probably sink it. But I don't expect me to dribble or try. That's why basketball would have been my sport. I would have excelled in the basketball league. Maybe that's why I love that movie so much. Who is the only coach to win championships both as a college and professor coach at the same time?
Same time?
Mm-hmm.
As in like the same year they won?
Yeah, sounds like it was the same time, yeah.
Like Larry Brown?
Larry Brown. Which player had the nickname the Pink Panther?
Shit. Who was the Pink Panther?
You're going to know it when I say it.
I used to could know it. I used to could.
I used to could have known this one.
I did used to could. All right, what is it?
Tony Kukoc.
Tony Kukoc.
Which are the only teams to have never moved since the inception of the NBA?
Knicks and Celtics.
Knicks and Celtics. Who has the most rebounds in a game?
Dennis Rodman.
Earlier than that.
Is it Wilt?
It's Wilt. 55 against Boston.
You realize how many games there's less than 55 total rebounds?
Yep. That's awesome. All right. Question 100. Which player is called His Airness and is considered to be the greatest player of all time by many?
Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan. All right. Question 101. Where did the first ever All-Star game take place?
Is it Madison Square Garden, New York?
It's a garden, but not Madison.
Oh, Boston Garden?
Boston Garden in 1951.
So that's 100 questions?
That's 100, but we're going all the way.
Okay.
We're going all the way. That was actually question 101. So
yeah, but we threw one away.
We did, but let's go for all of them. Let's get your full score. Who was the MVP in the first All-Star game?
How long ago was it? Jeez.
That would have been 1951.
I have no idea.
Ed McCauley. What is Shaquille O'Neal's rap hit called?
Well, I know one of them, and it's called "What's Up, Doc? Can We Rock?"
That is correct. That is correct.
With the Foo Schnickens.
After which player is the Twitter logo named after?
A Twitter logo?
Mm-hmm.
So the NBA Twitter logo?
No, it's the actual Twitter logo. Well, what's the Twitter logo?
Called, I used to know it. I used to even know this.
Well, what is it?
Larry
Bird. Larry Bird, yep. Larry Bird. Which team retired Wilt Chamberlain's jersey in 2000?
2000?
Mm-hmm.
So that much later.
Mm-hmm.
So my guess would be the 76ers.
Mm-mm. It's not an NBA team.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's a very famous team, but it's not an NBA team.
A non-NBA team, said no more number 13s because of this basketball.
Because of Wilt, correct.
Okay. So, I'm guessing it's a baseball team.
No, it's a basketball team.
It is a basketball team?
It is a basketball team.
Oh, okay, so it would have been like University of Kansas.
It's not a college team either.
The Harlem Globetrotters.
Harlem Globetrotters, correct. They're the ones that said no more 13s. How about that? All right, almost at the end. Who is widely considered to be the best NBA free throw shooter?
Widely considered?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so Steve Nash would be up there.
Not Steve Nash.
Stephen Curry's up there.
Not Stephen Curry.
Stockton was up there.
Not Stockton.
No, that's 3.
Mark Price.
Mark Price. That is one of the guys that played for Cleveland in the early to mid 90s. That would have been the reason why.
90.4%.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Who is the only player who had an entire season of triple doubles?
Always, as in the average triple double at the end of the year, there's been 2 players that have done that.
Okay.
So we got Oscar Robertson.
Correct. That's the answer.
And Russell Westbrook.
Okay, well.
Has done it since then.
Robertson is who they were looking for, so. Who is the only NBA player of the modern era who made it to every NBA All-Star game during a period that was actively playing the game?
Do what now?
The only NBA player of the modern era who made it to every All-Star game during a period that was actively playing the game. So basically, he was an active player, and he got to every All-Star game.
As in his entire career, he was in an All-Star game?
Mm-hmm.
Kobe.
Not Kobe.
Is it Jordan, then?
Not Jordan.
LeBron.
Yao Ming.
Yao Ming?
Yep.
Yeah.
This one is a surprising question. What is Kevin Durant's career high? It's actually not a high number at all.
Isn't it like? He's never hit 50. He's never hit 50. Has he even hit 40?
Slightly over 50.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 52.
54.
54.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good, but like someone like him, you would think he'd had a 60 by now, but he hasn't.
Penultimate question, Dan. Which player was drafted by the Orlando Magic but was later traded for Penny Hardaway?
Penny Hardaway got traded. Drafted by Orlando, went to... Traded... On the Suns? No, Penny went to the Suns later. Who? Penny Hardaway trade. The Penny Hardaway trade.
You have a guess?
Come on. I don't know.
Chris Webber.
Yeah.
Last question. Kobe Bryant was number 13 in the NBA draft for which year?
96.
96. All right, so how many total did you get right?
72.
All right. How many did you get wrong?
38.
All right. Well, strike out 10 more questions. So 28 wrong because I asked you 111. So we'll strike out a few more wrongs there. So at the end, it was 72 out of 28 is your final tally. Not bad. Not bad. You definitely know your NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Know a hell of a lot more than I would have known on an NBA quiz. But yeah, I mean, I probably could have done pretty good on like the rules section.
Yeah.
And some of the player sections where there was some stuff in there I knew. But yeah, most of the stuff I would not have had a prayer on. All right, very good, Dan. Very good. Yeah, you get a C on your NBA quiz. But still, that was really good. I mean, only 28 questions wrong out of 100 is pretty good. Like I said, we did the bonus deal where I asked you all the extra 11 questions. So technically those were all bonuses. So strike them out. Strike out some of those wrong ones. And like you said, when we originally talked about doing this, you said your strong point was 80s on anyway. And there was quite a few questions that went through all the history. So, but you did very well. You guys want to come on trivia night and join us for a little bit of trivia? What's your area of expertise? What is the trivia that you know? What can we quiz you on that you would do fairly well with?
I dare someone to challenge us to wrestling trivia.
Dude, if Dan and I team up on that, that's gonna you're done. Like, go for it. Go for it. Come up with 100 wrestling trivia questions and give it. The two of us will tag team those, and we'll strike that one down. I think you and I should actually prep wrestling quizzes for each other.
Okay.
Maybe not 100, but because like I have an idea for a trivia quiz you could do for me.
Oh yeah.
Base it off stuff from WrestleCrap, because I'll actually probably know a lot of that because I've read all that stuff. What would you be an area of expertise you'd want to go for when it comes to wrestling?
Oh man.
They're like an era or a specific thing, like match histories or...
Oh man, maybe world title histories, maybe.
World title histories. Okay.
Of course, the late 90s, early 2000s.
You know what we can do for that one? We'll do a 50 quiz for each of us, but we'll do it at the same time. We'll just trade question back and forth. We can do that. That would be a good one. All right. But if you guys have an idea for something you want to do for trivia, or if you want to challenge one of us to trivia, you are more than welcome to do that. It got to be something that we're going to have a fair shot at. So be fair with what you challenge us to. Like, if you're going to ask me a bunch of questions about the history of the fall of Rome, probably not going to do so well on that. But if you ask me South Park questions,
Romana.
That I'll probably do pretty well on. Dan, that's another one you can do for me at some point. Get me some South Park trivia.
Or
Yeah, I can probably do pretty good on that one. And then, do you have another TV show you want to try? We've done Simpsons and NBA now.
Someone could try me on Doctor Who.
I'll do that. Yeah, I'll get you a Doctor Who quiz.
Or some Star Trek from...
Star Trek? What era you want to go for there?
We're talking OG through Voyager.
Okay, OG through Voyager. Got it. So that would be OG, Next Gen, Deep Space Nine, Voyager. So those 4, pretty much. Yeah. Okay, maybe I can find one that'll kind of do like 25 for each. And then we can make it pretty even. All right, so we got some plans here, guys. But check us out. You know what to do. Hit the button and do all that stuff. We're not going to do that every single time. Dan, any plugs you want to throw in there?
Oh, yeah. Come and see us stream on Twitch. Twitch.tv/CKCC Online. Check out our podcast, The Nerd Table, over at CKCC Radio.
Yeah, lots of podcasts on that channel.
Anywhere you get your podcasts.
We're almost at 20,000 downloads. So thank you, everybody. And become a patron for more exclusive content. I've actually been getting an itch to bring VIP Wrestle Talk back. Not as a weekly thing, but as a thing. So, yeah, I got the itch again.
We only need to get some stuff for the patrons.
Yeah, we're gonna get you the patrons some more stuff too. But yeah, thanks.
Which, hey, guys might be watching this early if you are a patron.
You might be. Well, thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next time for another trivia night.
Bye-bye.